What up, gang? We're back. Week 7. Predict the script. Your boy JS. We had a great week. We did 4-0. And it's time to do it again. Let's get back in here. I hope everybody followed along. Please don't forget to like. It costs you nothing to hit that like button. Subscribe. Feel free to comment, share, all that good stuff. We're going to build slowly, and we're going to build a whole community of people that's going to hit tickets and predict the script. You feel me? So I'm not going to hold you. We had a good week. We're going to get right back into it. I'm going to start posting my week predict the scripts on Thursday, just so you guys can have more time to look at them, to put in picks, to look out there, see what else is going on. I feel like I'm posting too late on Saturdays, not really giving you guys enough time to really check me out. So Thursdays, you'll see the predict the script, and then I'll have my recaps on Tuesday, and just, keep a lookout for all the little shorts that I'm posting. And that's it. So we're going to get into it. Week 7, predict the script. And we're going to start off Thursday tonight with the Icy Hot Bowl, as they're calling it. We got the Icy Hot Bowl. We got Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco. Steelers at the Bengals tonight. Two quarterbacks combined for 81 years old. So these guys are pretty up there, We got the AARP Bowl, the Retirement Bowl, all that good stuff. All right, so let's get into it. Steelers just won in good fashion against the Browns. Browns just traded Flacco over to the Bengals. He started 3 days later. They looked bad, but now he's had a week under his belt, or a short week under his belt, to get ready for the Steelers. Bengals are at home, and won't be one of my picks, but here's my thinking on this, guys. You know I don't like Zach Taylor. He lies. It's time for him to go. But they did all of that to get Flacco there. A couple of days, that's okay. He just got there. If the Steelers just whoop their ass and dog walk them tonight, where do the Bengals go from here? You know what I'm saying? You done traded Flacco. That was your answer. You didn't try to get somebody else. That was your answer. And you're still getting your ass whipped. So would it be time for Zach Taylor to go? I think so. But I just think that, it'll be nowhere to go from there. They got to put up a fight tonight. They got to put up a fight. They're at home. It is a division game, even though the Bengals suck. So the spread is 4.5. The Steelers are 4.5 favorites. Was 5.5. I can see the Bengals hanging with them this game. And keep in mind, the Steelers, great team. I like picking them when they're underdogs and when they're home. When they're on the road as a favorite, they're not as good. Now, sometimes they'll win, but they don't cover as much on the road as a favorite. So everybody's riding the Steelers again. They just won. I think it was 23-9 last week. So a lot of people are going to like the Steelers against the Bengals. It's Thursday night, one game, all the money is probably on the Steelers. I would take the Bengals with 4.5, for tonight if I was a betting man, just because everything's going this way. So you know what we do. We got to go that way. And you're getting points. So even if Bengals don't win, they can cover. But Flacco's got to get, chasing them. He's going to have to do something. Zach Taylor has no more excuses. You know what I mean? The O-line's still bad. They have no more excuses. So that's what I would do with this Thursday night. All right. So now we have our Sunday games. We're going to start again in London. Cheerio, mates. Shout out to the London crew out there. Shout out everybody in the UK. We got another good bloody game, mate. We have the Rams at the Jaguars in London, which is the Jaguars' second home. They always play out there. Rams got a convincing win last week. The Jags took a convincing loss to the Seahawks at home last week. The Rams are 2.5-point favorites in this game. Puka is looking doubtful to return from this game, and the Jags are still fully healthy. 2.5. They're both going on a bye after this game, so I really don't know which way. Jaguars, darling's team. They just took a loss. They can fight close and lose by 2. They can get the win over there in London, and the Rams could too. But without Puka, they could use that. I'm not on this game. It's too close, too much going on. You know, I'm not picking this game. I don't even have a thought at all who could win. It's too close. Do what you will with that. You know, good luck to you over there in London. All right. We're going to move on to our 1 o'clock slate. And guys, I'm not going to like this, but I think I'm going against the Eagles this week. Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm a fan of the Eagles. I'm just a bigger fan of my money. Okay. And I want to say this to the diehard fans. I'm not telling you not to be diehard, but don't let that confuse you with real life. These players don't know we exist. Let's keep it real. Much as we love them and love what they put on the field, they do not know we exist. I know some cowgirl fans or some serious fans, diehard, be fighting over their team. Literally fighting people because they don't like what somebody said about their team of players who don't even know that they exist. So let's compartmentalize and let's keep a realistic line in between. Yes, we're fans over here, ha, rah, rah, rah. But let's not be stupid, all right? I'm not giving my money away just because I'm a fan of the Eagles. You feel me? So y'all can start with that right there. But this is why we got the Eagles at the Vikings. Vikings, fresh off the bye. They had a week to prepare for us, all right? The Eagles are 1.5-point favorites. The way we're playing right now, we should not be favorites, but we are the better team. But Vikings just came off the bye. So they had a whole week to prepare for us, 2 weeks to prepare for us, okay? Carson Wentz is back, our old Carson Wentz. You know, he's known for throwing a good pick or two or whatever, but he has familiarity with us. We did have him, so let's not front, and act like he didn't get us where he got us until Nick Foles came in and took over. So we got Carson Wentz. He knows us. Isaiah Rodgers over there on that Brian Flores defense knows us, and he's playing lights out. Brian Flores defense against the pass game, very strong. There's a lot of things going there. They're at home, so they had time to prepare for us. We're looking bad. Offensive coordinator, Sirianni's best friend, ain't getting it done. Little turmoil in there, they saying, with us. A.J. Brown and Hurts and everything that's going on. I think we're going to get right. We're definitely winning next week against the Giants at home. Definitely. But I think this could be a spot where we're still railing. And they're like, hey, what's wrong with the Eagles? Not saying we're going to lose this game, but the Vikings are getting 1.5, a point and a half. I would honestly move it to 3.5, just in case. You know me. I don't want to get, I want to win with the hook. Vikings lose by 3, Eagles win. That's a great scenario for me. And I get the win with the hook, with the point. So for those reasons, I like the Vikings plus 3.5 against the Eagles this week. No shade, just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Hope our guys get right. Hope they give Barkley the ball. 6 carries, 12 carries is not enough. I hope the offense becomes more dynamic. But my script reading is they have another slump game, whether they barely win or they lose, and then it's pressing Nick Sirianni to do something about Kevin Petula. Do something about that OC. We have to make a change. All right. So I'm not down on my Eagles or nothing. It's just I could see this being a good spot where they're still railing, and the Vikings played them very close. J.J. McCarthy's not back yet. Wentz, whole connection thing. Again, Eagles can always win, but at home, off the bye, with the personnel they have that know us, and we're getting 3.5, I'll take the hook. All right, so don't shoot me for that, Eagles fans. Go Birds. All right, we're going to go down to the Saints at the Bears. Bears are now 4.5-point favorites at home. Bears just got a convincing win. Snoop took that pick Monday night. So they're on a short week. And the Saints just took a loss to the Patriots at home. So, of course, this is not one of my picks. But low-key, think about it. Monday night, everybody saw the Bears get a nice convincing win against the Commanders. Looked great, all of that. And now they're playing the Saints, who nobody believes in. So people think, oh, yeah, they're going to run away with the Saints. They're going to just beat them. Don't be so surprised if the Saints play them close. Get the win, Hell no. But don't be surprised if the Saints play them close and Chicago win by less than 3. You know what I'm saying? They got Taysom Hill back. He's doing his little run sneak touchdowns. They're okay. Saints are okay. They're not winning because they're tanking, but personnel wise, they're okay. Now, it is out there that Chris Olave can possibly be traded. They're now listening to trade offers. They got the Bills. Patriots are potential suitors that are asking. Bills would be a good fit, but I don't want to make them any better. So I hope he doesn't go there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We got the trade deadline looming. So everybody's time to get right or get shipped out. But don't be surprised if the Saints cover on that one. Don't just think the Bears just going to run away with it. Not so fast, my friend, but we'll see on that game. All right. We have the Dolphins and the Browns for this one. This one is very intriguing to me, and I'm calling this the get fired game. And I'll tell you why. Dolphins just took an upsetting loss. Browns, of course, can't get right. Cleveland is 2.5-point favorites at home. They're still rolling out Dillon Gabriel. Kevin Stefanski has got something against Shedeur where he doesn't want him to play, even though Haslam, the owner, drafted him. Something's going on there. Meanwhile, you got Tua calling out his teammates over there in Miami and having a disagreement with Mike McDaniels. So that's all foggy over there as well. Okay? People are clamoring for Shedeur Sanders to play. You know, he could have had time in garbage time last week. Stefanski didn't put him in. I think Stefanski's job on the line. I think this is his last year, honestly, as a Browns coach. So this is how I figure. If the Dolphins lose again and just get whooped by Dillon Gabriel and the Cleveland Browns, I think Mike McDaniels is out of there. Unfortunately, they got to put it on somebody. They're not going to bench Tua or whatever. However, if the Dolphins, the 1-5 Dolphins who are railing, no Tyreek Hill, if they go and beat these Browns in their own home with that defense and Dillon Gabriel, I feel Stefanski will have no choice but to bench him and start Shedeur Sanders. You've seen enough to know he's not getting it done, Dillon Gabriel. So if he doesn't go to Shedeur after the Browns, if the Browns lose this game, I feel like his job would be on the line as well. I think there's disagreement between Stefanski and Haslam about Shedeur. You know, the league just trying to hate on him because he's Deion's son, saying he's cocky and arrogant. But look at this, same thing. He hasn't said anything wrong. He has confidence. He believes in himself. He likes to smile. And people think, oh, he's too cocky or whatever. Meanwhile, Jackson Dart is out here high-fiving refs. Him and Cam Scatterbo, Arm and Hammer, doing all of this stuff. They ain't going nowhere in the playoffs, but everybody likes it and call it moxie and all of that stuff. When Baker Mayfield was first coming out, oh, he's arrogant, he's this, that. Now he's winning. It's moxie and all of that. You see how they do? Jackson Dart can be as confident as he wants, and everybody's okay with it. Shedeur believes in himself, and everybody has a problem with it. I don't like that. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? So, for me, Dolphins lose, somebody's getting fired. If the Browns lose, Dillon Gabriel's getting fired, and Shedeur is getting his starting time, as he should. If he tries to not start Shedeur, I think Kevin Stefanski eventually will be gone. So, for that reason, in this spot, call me weird. 2.5, I'll go to 3.5, but I like the Dolphins in this game. I like the Dolphins. I'll take 3.5. I'll always take a little extra hook. But Dolphins probably going to win this game, and they're going to put pressure on the Browns. What you're going to do now with Shedeur, because Dillon Gabriel's not that guy. You know what I mean? Two of them has been railing, but where can they go? You know what I mean? Now, if they lose to the Browns, then they got a serious problem. But I think they're going to put up a fight. I think they're going to get it together. I'm getting 3.5 against Dillon Gabriel. I'll take that. All right? So, little scary waters, the get fired game. I know it ain't sexy, but this is me predicting the script. It's going to be a close game, I think. Either way, give me the Dolphins with 3.5. Give them to me. All right? Nothing we can do there. We got to roll with it. All right, let's go. We're going to go to the next game, which is the Patriots at the Titans. Patriots are 6.5-point favorites at the Titans. This is very interesting. It can go either way. Mike Vrabel is bringing the Patriots, who are riding high, 4-2, first in the AFC East, into Tennessee to his old team, where I would think he would smack the shit out of the Titans, bring his team in there and just run through them. However, Titans just fired Brian Callahan. About time. So you know how teams get once they fire the coach and then the interim coach. It's like they got that game of freedom, that game of inspiration. Oh, yeah, we're finally free of him. You know what I mean? Let's ball out. So I can see the Patriots putting their foot up the ass, or I can see the Titans fighting real close, maybe get a shocking win, or cover the 6.5. Can go either way. That's why I'm not fucking with this game. I'll let it ride. But I can see both scripts. It's just the fact of which way they're going to play it out. All right. Moving on. We got the Raiders at the Chiefs. Chiefs are 12.5-point favorites now. Chiefs just got a nice win against the Lions. Raiders finally got a win. They couldn't lose that. It was like, enough is enough. However, Raiders going into the bye. Rashee Rice is back in action this week. KC all day until the Raiders fire Chip Kelly. I have no belief in them. KC all day. Am I taking 12.5? Hell no. Am I taking the Raiders 12.5? Hell no. Not touching that game. I would take Chiefs money line, but it's a lot of points. But Chiefs all day on that one. Ain't nothing to think about. Brock Bowers is still out. So Chiefs could put up 40 and say we're back. You know what I mean? Real likely, but I'm really not touching that game. All right, let's move on. We got the Panthers at the Jets. Panthers at the Jets. Jets are 1.5-point underdogs. Panthers looking good, 3-3, finally getting right. Now, we got a little controversy here on the running back because Rico Dowdle Smith, you know, Emmitt Smith's brother, has been running all over the league or whatever, 200 yards in 2+ games. But then you got Chuba Hubbard, who's coming back. So what do? Do you give Hubbard his starting spot back, or do you let Rico Dowdle keep on? What I would do is I would, give them both some touches, but I would go with the high hand. We're winning right now. You know what I mean? Yes, I'll give Hubbard some touches, make it slightly easy, but it'll be probably 60-40 Rico Dowdle. You stick with the high hand. I mean, when it runs out, okay, then we can just go back full time to Hubbard. You know what I mean? But let that man ball. He balling. He was balling for you when Hubbard was hurt. Let him get his stock up. You know what I mean? He might get traded. He might want to, you know what I mean? Let him get his stock up. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what Mama always said. You know what I mean? So in that one, I really like, for them to stick with the hot hand. However, this would be a perfect spot. Jets 0-6 at home against the Panthers, who winning, somebody you can beat if you played. Just like the Raiders last week. If this was any game to win, it's this one. If Jets don't win this game, Aaron Glenn got to get fired. He has to. It's just not working. He went out, he chose Justin Fields, whatever. It's not working. You might want to bench him this game and go to Tyrod Taylor. Honestly, your job's on the line, bro. You can't go down, you know what I mean? You're trying to go down with the ship. If Jets lose this game, I see Aaron Glenn, getting fired. It didn't work. Something's going on. Now, they might try to just bench Justin Fields and go to Tyrod or something, but y'all got to get this win. I'm not taking you motherfuckers no more. Y'all did me dirty. I'm not I'm not betting on you guys right now and again. But you should win this fucking game. And that's all I got to say about that in my Forrest Gump voice. That's all I got to say about that. All right, moving on to the afternoon games. We have the Giants against the Broncos. We got Arm and Hammer against Bo DB. All right, we got Cam Scatterboo, Jackson Dart, and the motherfucking Giants getting 7.5 after a good win at the Broncos, who got a very narrow win in London against the Jets. So I believe that, of course, the way that the Giants looked last week, the public is probably going to ride the Giants getting 7.5. Be careful, because this could be one of the games where the Broncos just go up and the Giants go back to looking like the Giants. I'm not on this game. But Bo DB's been playing good. I suspect they get the win. Giants they're getting there, but they're not in the win now mode. You know what I mean? They're selling tickets. They're trying to keep fans in the seats with Dart and Scatterbo. They're getting there. But Broncos win, I think. I'm not taking this. Bo DB has been rolling, winning, making babies, busting nuts. You feel me? But I like the Arm and Hammer. I like the nickname. It's fitting for them, and we'll see what happens with the Giants, in the long run. Moving on, we have the Colts at the Chargers. Very close game here. Chargers are 1.5-point favorites at home. Colts and Chargers just got convincing wins last week. Colts are running through teams. They're 5-1. Their only loss was on the road at the Rams, which is a good team. So now they're on the road against another good team. Pretty hard to call for me, because the Chargers, it depends. They can lose to the Giants or they can come home and spank a good team. You know what I mean? They're still banged up with their running backs. Vidal looked good last week. But either team can win this game. Colts are looking great. Daniel Jones looking great. Jonathan Taylor. My only hang-up is that the Colts on the road, when they played a real team, they got spanked by the Rams. You know what I mean? When they were on the road against other games, there was the Titans and things of that nature. So this is the second real good team that they're playing on the road. So it can literally go either way. Colts are getting 1.5. If I was betting that, of course, you know me, take the hook. I would take 3.5 for the Colts. But won't be one of my picks. But that should be a very good game. Very good game. All right, another game I'm going with. Unfortunately, they did me dirty last week, but got to roll with them again. We got the Commanders at the Dallas Cowgirls. Commanders are 1.5-point favorites at Dallas Cowgirls. Cowgirls lost in upsetting fashion to the Panthers by a field goal, and they let Rico Dowdle buckle up and run through their ass. Commanders lost a convincing win against the Bears on Monday night, which I predicted. This is why I like the Cowboys in this. First of all, it's a division game. And think about it. When most teams are even, most division games, it's more than likely a split. Hence why the Giants got the win on the Eagles in New York, and we're going to whip their ass next week. But, people are down on the Cowboys or whatever the case may be. Dak and them been playing good. Their offense is good. Their defense just bad. CeeDee Lamb is practicing this week. More than likely to return. As Terry McLaurin is as well. But Dak's already been balling with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens playing the way he playing. And it's a division game. And they lost the game last week that they probably should have won. And they're home. I could see the Cowboys getting the win for this one. Because remember, they play the Commanders again in Washington. So I see this being one of the splits here. Cowboys are getting 1.5. Snoop. Give me the hook. I'll take the 3.5. I'm trying to win, man. Fuck y'all lines. Fuck Vegas lines. I make my own lines. Whatever works for me to get this bread. You feel me? So do what I do, guys. You feel me? So I'll take the Cowboys at home with 3.5. I'll buy the 2 points. Easy peasy. You know what I'm saying? Let me get that. So I'm taking the Cowboys on that one. Next game, we have the Packers at the Cardinals. Kyler Murray still iffy, hasn't practiced. We'll see if he's back. Doesn't look so. Marvin Harrison Jr. is practicing, but he has a concussion, so he has to get cleared by the doctors. Brissett looked decent last week. Packers won against the Bengals. They didn't cover, but they won. I believe Christian Watson is on his way headed back. So we'll see how that is. Everybody likes the Packers. They're 6.5-point favorites on the road. Cardinals, only thing they're going into the bye. I think this is a Packers game, of course. Are we taking the spread? Fuck no. Are we taking the money line? If I bet, we would. Not one of my picks, but Packers on the road. I think they get the win there. No surprise, nothing surprising Next about that. We have the Falcons at the 49ers. 49ers are 2.5-point favorites. Falcons just got a big win. I believe that was Monday night against the Bills. And the 49ers took a big loss to the Buccaneers last week. All right. It looks like George Kittle is practicing, but we don't know if he's going to play. Pearsall seems to be out. Purdy's practicing. We'll see if he plays. Falcons are getting on track. Bijan's rolling. Everybody think their defense is, so great, but keep in mind, this is the same group that lost 30-0 to the Panthers. So I'm not 100% on them yet, but they're going in the right direction. I would take the Niners if everybody was healthy, of course. It's a primetime game. I try to stay away from those. Falcons just won in a primetime spot. So now they're back again. It's really hard to call. I mean, if I was guessing, I would take the Falcons to have a get right. The 49ers to have a good get right game and to win. But primetime, I'm not really messing with that. Good luck to you guys. Let's see if Mac Jones can do it or if they're going to put Purdy in. We'll see. All right. So that's all I got on that. We're going to go to the Monday night doubleheader. It's always a doubleheader. What is going on with this? We got the Buccaneers and the Lions. Okay, looks like the Lions are 5.5-point favorites at home after just losing Sunday night to the Chiefs. The Buccaneers got a big win against San Fran at home. Now they're on the road. Ibuka is hurt. He may not play. Bucky Irvin and Godwin still may not play, not looking likely to play. Looks like Mike Evans is back practicing, and he will play. So it's kind of tricky, but for me, I feel like Lions just got a big loss. Bucks just got a big win. Lions are at home. Lions going into the bye after this game. Baker's been on a roll, playing like an MVP. He's missing some key players in this spot. He's been winning game after game. I think this is the spot where he takes a loss. So for this game, I'm going with the Lions money line. We're not taking that spread. But I'm going money line with the Lions on that one. Okay. And then for the second game of the Monday night doubleheader, we have the Texans at the Seahawks. The Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites. Seahawks just got a big win in Jacksonville last week. The Texans were on the bye. Okay, so let's see what we got. Darnold and them playing great. I don't really trust the Texans. I told y'all that earlier. Texans been real iffy starting off. Maybe after the bye, they come back and their defense is good and they get right. Seahawks just won. Now, Seahawks, before this win, they lost at home the week before to the Buccaneers. So now they're back at home. So for them to lose 2 home games in a row, maybe not likely, but you're giving 3.5 to the Texans off the bye. They better come out swinging. So I can see the Texans covering the hook, the 3.5, fresh off the bye. Had time to practice for the Seahawks, to get ready for them and everything, get healthy. Again, not touching that game, but I would lean towards the Texans with the points if I had to in that. All right, so we're going to my picks. My picks for this week, predicting the script, is the Vikings plus 3.5. Don't shoot me. I'm taking the Dolphins plus 3.5. Hopefully they get the win and put some pressure on Stefanski to have to play Shador, but I'll take the 3.5. I'm here to win. Who else do I like? I said I was also taking the Cowboys plus 3.5. They're getting 1.5. I'll buy the 2 points and take the 3.5. Division game against the Commanders. I'll take that. I'm also taking the Lions money line. I'm taking the Lions for money line. Honorable mention. I mentioned the Bears earlier. I don't like the 4.5, but they're at home against the Saints. I like anybody at home versus the Saints this year. So just an honorable mention pick, Bears money line, but I'm not going to roll that into my 4. All right, so we got my 4. Cowboys, 3.5, Dolphins, 3.5, Vikings, 3.5, Lions money line. All right, so that's what I'm going with. Hopefully we run it up again this week. Take them separate, take them individually. I know few, if all of them, should hit. Hopefully if we predict the script. Keep the comments and the likes and all the interest coming, guys. I appreciate it. I'm new out in this world with YouTube, and I'm just going to keep trying to do what I love to do, which is talk about this phony rigged football. And I love football. So we're going to make it work, and we're going to build. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to the people that comment and like. I'll see you guys Tuesday for the recap. Keep looking out for the shorts that I be posting. And let me know what lines you guys like too. Let me know what scripts you like. You know, if you're reading this and something pops up in your head, share it. You know what I mean? Good ideas should be shared. You feel me? So with that said, predict the script week 7. See you guys next week.